the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Fun show, fun hour coming up in 15 minutes. We'll get into the latest news in the National Football League today, and we have had a couple of doozies here, including Micah Parsons now requesting a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. We'll touch on that coming up at 3:15. The betting odds are all over the map for his next team, and Dan Leberfeld covers the Jets in New York. We'll talk to him coming up at the bottom of the hour. Excited about that.
Yep, and McLaurin wants out as well. You got that news as he demands a trade, and there's odds up and prices on that. And then the interesting story 20 minutes ago, Ortiz and Clase's lockers have been cleared out in the Guardians clubhouse. That's from The Athletic. Clase was placed on leave through August 31st. I'm reading from the article. But his locker being cleared out could signal that the Guardians don't expect him to be back with the team this season. Ortiz also on paid leave. It remains to be seen if Clase will pitch again in the majors.
Oh, that's...
CBSSports.com.
There's no doubt that's part of the story here.
Yeah.
It's baseball we're talking about and potentially gambling.
Oh, boy.
How have they handled that in the past?
I know.
Okay, so this is a guy who... Again, we talked about this during the break. My buddy and I had enough money. We would have won enough money on Class A in the American League Cy Young market last year to go buy a car with cash tomorrow. A really nice car, really nice boat, whatever. We would have won a ton of money to Class A.
Boat?
But my buddy told me he could have paid off his house.
Oh.
To Class A winning the Cy Young. In August of last year, A.J. Hinch came out after a Sunday night game. We were still doing mornings. After a Scooble pitch, he goes, we're going to be very careful. We're going to monitor him moving forward. There's 6 weeks left of the baseball season, right? We don't know how much he's going to pitch the rest of the year. Well, that was like a lie because Scooble was great and they pitched him the whole time and they made the playoffs. But if that actually happened, if that turned out to be true, there was a really good case that Class A had to win, and he did anyway, to win the American League Cy Young. You're talking about that guy. He was so good last year, and who knows how much like the Guardians would have gotten in return for him if they traded him at the deadline. And the timing of this for the entire team could not have been worse.
Could have been a Philly, yeah.
What happens if they traded him a couple of days before this, and then the news comes out? Does baseball step in and rescind the trade?
I would say that's buyer beware. It's not not an injury.
No,
right?
I know.
It wasn't like someone was, they kept an injury hidden or anything. I would say that's buyer beware at that point. Oh.
That's rough.
I just can't believe it. I mean, it's just, I'm with Bennett. You expected it in college, but not this with the NBA and MLB. You're throwing it all away.
That's right.
It's one thing for Porter. He was making $500,000 a year. But it's another thing entirely when you're talking about what Beasley was making, $16 million a year, and then one of the best closers, allegedly, one of the best closers in baseball, if this turns out to be true, what they were doing.
Amazing.
Of all things. I mean, that's the one thing. I mean, it's just, VSiN retweeted it, that guy, who broke down every pitch when it was 0-0. A no ball, no strike count. They're not even close to the strike zone.
No. How much money are you getting down on these bets?
That's the other, right.
That
and it was
part
also
of the story
right.
is vital to me. It has to come out.
Yeah, I know.
How much were they standing to win?
Because you just might as well be on fire. You're telling everyone over here, look at me. For 4,000, first pitch of the top of the second to be a ball. 2,000, whatever. I mean.
Yeah. All right, so God. The AFC East here, we've talked about this a lot. I mean, we think the separation here from Buffalo between every other team is absolutely massive. This, to me, feels like when the Patriots were humming along for 20 years with Tom Brady and the other three teams inside this division couldn't get their crap straight for 20 years. They were runaway winners for the division like every single year, and they were priced accordingly. I think the Bills are in the same spot here. I think they're that much better than every other team, but most people don't want to lay $2.50 or $3 or more. I get it this time of year. So you're trying to be a little bit creative, come up with something else. How about this? At DraftKings, they offer the 1-2 exacta. You're not buying the Patriots.
No way.
I'm not either. What if the Dolphins are better than people expect?
Well, everyone's down on the Dolphins.
Yes,
and that's the professionals love and bet their win total under. I know. Which, should they be favored week 1 at Indy? Maybe, maybe not. But certainly they look like they're a joke and a travesty when something happens to Tua, the crap that they run. Sure. I am worried about that relationship with Tua and Hill that has not been fixed and repaired, as he did a lot of damage with what he said as well. He just can't come in and say, okay, sorry. But
I still think the offense is going to be good. Right. If Tua stays healthy the entire year, they absolutely have playmakers. I mean, Achane could go nuts this year.
I've also done a 180 on McDaniel, though, as well, who's coaching for his job.
Yeah.
But
here's the bet. Let me pay it off.
Sorry.
Bills Dolphins 1-2 exact is plus 290. To me, there's absolutely a world where they are no doubt better than the Jets, and the Patriots are not as good as what people think. Because Bills Pats is the exact is plus 150.
Yeah, Bills Dolphins Patriots Jets is 5-1. I think the Jets will finish in last place. Lou Finocchiaro had a great breakdown on the Bills. Recommended the under. He bet it. Good point about the plus 24 turnover margin, which was ridiculous last year. And then you fall off. That falls off. You come down to earth, and your wins go down by 3 on average. That Warren Sharp had as well. His concerns about the defense bailed out by those turnovers and being plus 24. They've addressed it, and they think fixed it in the offseason. Yes, they should win the division, but can you get to 12-13 wins? And that great game to start the first Sunday night game against Baltimore.
Oh, that has 1 seed implications written all over it.
It does, yeah.
At the end of the year. I will give you this. This is a fantasy tidbit and also for player props year long. Right now, current average draft position in the Jets backfield, Breece Hall going around the end of round 3. Braylon Allen, he's lasting until like round number 15. This is from Zach Rosenblatt, who covers the Jets. He said the running back room might be more 1A, 1B than a 1-2 punch. And he wrote this, quote, "This isn't so much a knock on Hall as it is praise for Allen. The Jets are going to have a hard time keeping Allen off the field in 2025. The second-year back looks bigger, faster, and stronger. He's like, isn't he 6'3", like 240? Wasn't he that big like last year as a rookie?"
Yeah.
And he says, Allen has been one of the stars of camp so far, showing a level of explosiveness and downhill running ability the Jets have been lacking. He's a legit threat in the passing game, too, which should allow the offensive coordinator there to get creative. So, again, maybe file that one away if you're looking to play props at all season long on Jets running backs or anybody over in general. And I think Braylon Allen, coming out of Wisconsin, I was super high on that kid. And he had an impact last year on the team. And so he is blowing people away, some of them anyway, at camp so far.
Boy, their games, they should be a ton of unders. That should how it play out. You bring in a defensive guy with Glenn as your new coach. It was so bad last year. They embarrassed themselves what happened after Saleh got fired. And now you should be more run-focused, run-oriented with Fields who can't throw.
Well, I'll ask you this, because you've been super high on Garrett Wilson last couple of years.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Don't you have to bet him under everything this year? Is Fields going to get him the ball? Is he capable of getting him the ball?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean,
no.
Like last year, every time he was on the field for the Steelers, what was going to happen.
Yep.
It wasn't going to be a long connection down the field to any of his receivers there.
Plus, he looks to run, too. That's the other thing.
Uh-huh.
And that's going to be, 3rd and 7, no one there, I'll take off and run. Or design stuff, what they're going to do with Fields.
How about most rushing touchdowns inside the AFC East?
Oh.
I mean, rightfully so. Josh Allen's plus 175.
Yeah.
He's the short shot. Braylon Allen, who we just talked about, 40-1, most rushing touchdowns. The most passing yards. Can you make a case here for anybody other than Allen? He's minus 105. Tua's plus 190. The case there is if he stays healthy the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
May's plus, I don't want anything with May, and certainly Fields 25-1. There needs to be a 0 on that.
Yep.
And receiving yards, Hill plus 180. Garrett Wilson's plus 320. No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Waddle's plus 350. Diggs with the Pats 10-1.
No, thank you. Want no part of that.
Okay, receiving touchdowns. Tyreek plus 160. Wilson plus 650. Diggs, Keon Coleman, Waddle 8-1. Kincaid 10-1.
That's tough because you got to be honest. This Hill's become a B.A. Baracus here.
Uh-huh.
This guy with his bad attitude, and we go off the handle. you know? And it's just, I don't know how that's going
Maybe
to play
Waddle.
out. That could be.
Maybe he turns into the main guy there.
Yeah.
He's got the goods, man.
I don't know. I think it's an issue. What do you think? I think it's a big issue.
Well, when Tua actually talks about the media?
When you come in and say, hey, you can't do that and just say, sorry, my bad. I mean, that's going to take some time. And you got to repair that relationship.
Yeah, and there's also this. Tyreek Hill now is on the other side of 30.
Uh-huh. You get hurt. Not the same speed.
Sure.
Whatever. But again, the biggest indictment of McDaniel is what happens when this guy's banged up and they have to go to the backup quarterback position. It's a joke.
Yeah,
you know what? I mean, they're lucky to score 13 points.
Maybe there is value here. The more we talk this out on a guy like Diggs or somebody like a Keon Coleman or a Waddle, because Wilson's not probably the opportunities probably won't be there because Fields can't throw. Hill, as we just talked about, and you tie in Tua, Mike, if he gets hurt again. Somebody else going to be winning those markets right there, Pauly.
Yeah, I think Diggs is finished, though. I hate that play.
Well,
that contract
it might not be
bad.
him. It could be.
Well, okay, but
you can find some decent numbers. I mean, who's going to be the number one guy for Josh Allen?
That's the route you can go to.
Yeah,
that's the route I would play it because I don't think Diggs has anything left.
All right, let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. I have played the Bills to win their division on several cross-sport parlays entering the football season. We'll get into the news of the day. It's a big one. I mean, Micah Parsons, elite defensively, one of the best in the entire league, comes out and says, nope, screw you and your negotiations. I want out of here. Requested a trade earlier today. We'll go over all of that, including the betting odds, next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So here's your big news today, and this is, if something happens here, right, it's going to be moving the needle, I think, across the board for several teams. Micah Parsons, one of the best defensive players in the entire league, sent out a lengthy, on Instagram post and also on Twitter. It's like 3 or 4 different pages long. Basically, he said that my trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. He wants out. Enough's enough. The negotiations did not go well whatsoever. The Cowboys are trying to go. They have the entire time. His agent, I guess, is considered one of the best in the entire business. They're not even talking or dealing with him. They want to go straight to Micah Parsons, and that's where a lot of trouble can happen. Right. It's not great to go down that path. And Jerry Jones completely screwed this up. He has nobody else to blame but himself. That's the Cowboys' biggest obstacle is the guy who owns the team.
Well said. The 30-year drought getting to a conference title. Schottenheimer's your head coach. They're chanting, pay Micah at camp. He's got to sit there and take it. It's all on Jerry. Parsons said, my agent informed me I should wait for other deals to get done because the price would only go up, but I didn't care and wanted to secure myself as a Cowboy long term. So then they start talking. They think they have something locked up. But then Garrett gets 4 for 160, Crosby gets 3 for 106, and Watt gets 3 for 123. And everything has changed. Mm-hmm. Jerry likes to do this mano a mano, where he talks to the player, and then that's where it can get, bad blood and stuff can happen. And that's what Parsons is saying happened here as well. I no longer want to be here. I went to ownership. Thank you, Dallas. I want to be traded.
Damn shame.
Now, whether a negotiating ploy, whatever, but I just think the fact remains that this is how Jerry wants to go with the go-around, run an end around here, and doesn't want to go through the agent is ridiculous. Well, and they could have got a deal done a while back, but their priority was Dak number 2, Dak number 1, Lamb number 2. So then they had to wait for that, which waiting helped him out because of what happened here, though. But Parsons again would just take. You don't have to bake the brink.
I get it.
You know what I'm going to say. Yeah. To stay here, I want to be a Cowboy for life, and now here we're at with this situation. So between this and McLaurin, it's very interesting and could get juicy.
It very much is, Pauly. And again, I'll go back to this. Adam Shine, who precedes us here on VSiN, Make It Rain with Adam Shine every day, told a great story to begin his show today at the Super Bowl and on his other SiriusXM radio show. He had Micah Parsons on, and Parsons explained to him that he was willing to take, at the time, a cap-friendly deal because he wants to win, meaning that they were going to be able to go out there and sign like other really good players to have the Cowboys, make deep runs as long as possible and during his playing time with the Cowboys. So that is out there. That's public knowledge. The Cowboys know about it. Parsons wants to get it done. And yet the hemming and hawing by Jerry Jones just takes so freaking long that instead of doing that, which would have been the smartest move to make, and boy, oh boy, I mean, great businessman, right? But he really fails as an owner of the NFL, of an NFL team a lot, over and over and over again. And now you're in this pinch, and maybe Micah just made up his mind, and it's not a negotiating ploy, and he just says, as much as I want to be here, as much as I've loved that star in my helmet the entire time, get me out. I'm not playing because you're a total joke. And that would be enough. Again, if I lived in that area, if I had season tickets, first of all, personally, I would have canceled them many, many years ago.
Keeping Garrett around that long?
Oh, no doubt.
Campo?
This would be
Either one?
It'd be finito.
Yep.
If they actually trade this guy, I'd be on the horn the next minute saying, I want my money back for my season tickets. I'm done. And I know plenty of people in that area who have basically bailed on the team anyway.
Chargers 15-1 would be great as a landing spot. Arizona as well. Could you go big market with the Jets? Also on the list.
Well, shop around. Again, you're not going to be able to get down big bets on this stuff, but DraftKings had the Raiders 25-1. Offshore, the Raiders were 5-1. The shortest shot on the board to get them.
I would think DraftKings would take a good action on that, though. Offshore, you're right.
Offshore, they'll take $10.
Yeah, right. Now, McLaurin is 25-1 to go to the Bills. Raiders are the favorites offshore, and the Patriots are 4-1. Great job today from Bill Barnwell, ESPN. If there's anyone in the building who deserves the benefit of the doubt, it's McLaurin. A leader, positive presence since he was drafted in round 3 in 2019. They had an entire offseason to negotiate. The hold out and then hold in haven't led to any sort of resolution, leading him to request a trade. The Commanders' offense looks very different without him.
Oh, yes.
Because then you're talking about Debo being the top wideout role, and he sucked last year and was also hurt all the time. You got Noah Brown, who I like, but also Gallup, who was out of the league last year, competing on the outside. Most Commander fans want this resolved as quickly as possible with a new deal, but there's a lot of questions here. How will it play out? Also, the timing. You probably want to sign the guy if you get approved for a $4 billion stadium or whatever it was that came down today.
That's right.
Right? So what's keeping the Commanders and McLaurin from agreeing to a new deal? Fair value and age impacts this as well. He turns 30 in September. Would they just say, okay, we're going to trade you? You look at other deals around the league in that age. His case took a hit when Sutton, who turns 30 in October, got 4 for 92, averaging $93 million a year. Also, what DK got 4 for 132. Could they blink and give him what he wants? Could McLaurin blink and play out the final year of his deal? That's risky. He's 31 next season.
That's a big deal.
Could they compromise on a new contract, or do the Commanders sweeten the deal? And what can the Commanders get if they trade him? That's another tough discussion as well.
Well, what do you think the Cowboys could get for Parsons?
Yeah, right.
Get a lot for him. I don't know how much a team would be willing up to give McLaurin or the Commanders for him.
The Browns got a third-round pick and a swap for 30-year-old Amari Cooper last October.
Yeah, there's no way a team's going to give up a first-round pick. I can't imagine that scenario. And by the way, so like, what does he mean? If he's not on the team, right, and they get rid of the guy, and let's say it's just for future picks, there's no proven player in return. Remember, they had Dummy Brown last year as well, who, go look at the Lions game. He made an impact a lot for that team. He's no longer with the squad. So you go from having McLaurin and Samuel, and that's exactly right. All of a sudden, Samuel has to go from like the number 2 guy as the receiver to the primary, and then Noah Brown's going to have to be like the number 2. Beyond that, it's Luke McCaffrey, KJ Osborne, Michael Gallup. I mean, there's not a lot of meat there on the bone, in my opinion. But on the flip side, I think I'm confident enough, and I trust Cliff Kingsbury calling plays as the OC, and I love Jaden Daniels. I mean, to me, there's no comparison. Parsons off the Cowboys would have a much better impact than McLaurin off the Commanders.
And move the win total in some spots. Some 7.5s now.
Yeah, 7.5. Yeah.
Yep. Barnwell's thoughts on where he could go. Colts, 10-1. Panthers, not even listed. Bills, 25 to 1.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Bean has repeatedly traded for Y-outs to help out Allen. First-round pick he dealt for Diggs. Got Cooper. You got Kincaid and Coleman as well. But to bring him in, is it that tough of a fit? I think you make it work though, and do it. And Allen's so good as well. But the logical thing is for McLaurin to stay with the Commanders, for the two sides to come to terms on a new deal or some sort of raise, and for Daniels to have his best receiver on the field. Still the most likely scenario. After a holdout, hold in, and now a trade request, though, it's clear there's a real disconnect between the Commanders and one of their most important players. Well said.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple of other teams on the list. I would not hate it if he went to the Seahawks, 12 to 1.
You okay? Not bad.
I think that'd be obviously helpful to that team. Cardinals, 16 to 1.
Well, what happened last year with Harrison? Remember he had that huge game against the Rams and then disappeared.
Oh, and he had I think he started off with a big bang against the Bills in week 1, didn't he?
Well, he had him wide open for a touchdown, I think, and missed him, wasn't it? Or dropped something.
Yeah, and then it just kind of off the radar.
Right. Anything else there?
Like the Jets are 5 to 1.
No.
Why?
No.
That's not good. That would be ridiculous. Steelers with Rodgers 8 to 1. Does it feel like a move that the Pittsburgh Steelers would make though? I don't think so.
Good, yeah.
The Ravens, why? They have too much already, I think. Browns wouldn't make any sense in my opinion. I think you're talking about a contender here that would want a piece to put them over the top. Would you not?
Well, put the Panthers. I mean, if they're going to pay them, though.
Well,
if that's the part of the deal, put the Panthers on there.
Then take that part of the equation out of it. Panthers would be a good spot for them then.
Yeah. Our NFL betting guide's already out. The college guide drops Tuesday. Best time to go pro with VSiN. We got every conference breakdown, every team, every bet, ton of win totals, Heisman talk as well. Both betting guides, every email from Bill 80 in the morning, every best bet, every host, every guest, the 24/7 video on the app, full access to tools and data. Start today just $9.99 or get a full year and save 50% with a VSiN Pro annual subscription. Sign up now, vsin.com/subscribe. The Mackin Trends and Systems, the prop analyzer, which will blow your mind once the season gets underway, vsin.com/subscribe.
Up next, we'll get into the New York Jets. Dan Leberfeld covers the team in the area. We'll ask about Justin Fields, like the ceiling for him this year, and that backfield we talked about as well. More 1A, 1B than a 1-2 punch with Hall and Allen. I'm intrigued.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. We continue talking National Football League here as we head out to the Progressive guest line to concentrate on the New York Jets. Dan Leberfeld, kind enough to join us here on a Friday, publisher of Jets Confidential magazine. You can follow him on X. He is at Jets Whispers. Dan, thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing well. Always great to be on with you, Mitch and Pauly.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you again as well. So we were just talking about this team earlier this hour and Justin Fields, and we basically said we pretty much know who this guy is at this point. He can't throw the football. I mean, every time he was on the field last year for the Steelers, you kind of knew what they were going to do. From what you have watched so far in practice, is there any reason to believe that notion should be debunked on Fields?
Well, I think that when you look at Fields, there are going to be some games, just like there's going to be some practices where the OC dials up a perfect first read, and we know he's got a great arm, and he makes the throw. Today's practice in Florham Park, if you've seen some of the reports, they said he had a good day. Now, one thing about training camp practices, and you guys know this, you can't touch the quarterback. And today there was a deep route down the sideline, a 9 route to the speedster Arian Smith, the rookie out of Georgia, who's actually had a very good camp. The rap on him was his hands were inconsistent in Georgia, but he hasn't had any hands issues in practice. Runs 4.3. So deep down the sideline, he beat Sauce Gardner. However, a player had blitzed on the play, held up, pulled up, didn't touch the quarterback. The play continues, and he throws the bomb complete. So hard to tell if that play would have been successful in real football. So there are days, there are games. You saw games in Chicago where he looked really good. It has to be a perfect storm. You need to have the running game going, the play action, the bootlegs, the read option. Those days where all that's going well, he's fine. But that's not the case every practice, and that's not the case every game. You can expect that perfect storm every time.
Sounds like it's going to get hard. It's going to be hard to get the ball to Wilson, and then the frustration will set in, right?
Yeah, over the first week and change of practice, Wilson has not been that involved. And when you look at it, teams are going to double him, and the quarterback Fields likes to go to his first read. So you've seen a number of times where he's forced it to Garrett Wilson when he was not open. And the fear there, if you're in the Jets front office, because I've seen it up close, is that this is not a big receiver. Got great speed, great movement skills, great hands, but he's, 185, 190 pounds. You're throwing it late and into traffic. You got to keep your fingers crossed if you're a Jet fan that he stays healthy, because there have been a few passes in camp where if the DB or the linebacker didn't pull up and it was real football, he might have been lit up. But so far, he hasn't had a prolific camp, and I don't blame him for that. It's not his fault.
Yeah. I've read reports where we're talking about maybe a 1A, 1B type of deal in the backfield between Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. And people have said that Allen has looked awesome so far in camp. Would you agree with that?
Well, I don't know how anyone could determine how a running back looks when most days there's no tackling. And a big part of his game, you guys remember him from Wisconsin, is running people over. Well, you really can't do that in practice. Every once in a while there's a tackling practice, but it's not very often. With Braylon Allen, there's no question he's a really good power back. He breaks arm tackles, but his pad level's a little high. He runs a little upright, and I think there's a role for him, short yardage situations, spelling Breece Hall, but I don't see 1 and 1A. Breece Hall is clearly the better player.
Once Salah was let go, the defense became an absolute sieve. It was very disappointing. What do you expect for changes, and what Glenn can do to fix that and turn this around?
Well, I think one area that's going to definitely improve is in the secondary, because we don't know how Aaron Glenn's going to do as a head coach. We never know until the guy starts doing the job. But we know one thing. He can coach the heck out of defensive backs. In Detroit, he had a third-round safety named Kirby Joseph out of University of Illinois. Third round, just got paid the highest number for a safety in the league. He developed that guy. Sauce Gardner, even though he was beat on kind of a phony play today, but he's had a good camp. Sauce Gardner, to me, is going to go to another level under Aaron Glenn. Brandon Stevens, who they signed from Baltimore, the other corner opposite Sauce, he's had a great camp. The safeties are playing better, I think, and they have some good secondary coaches also, like Dre Bly. I think the secondary is going to be much better. As far as the pass rush, it hasn't been great in camp. One of the problems is Will McDonald's been very good, but there's been nobody opposite him. Jermaine Johnson is still on the PUP list. So if they can get Jermaine Johnson back and healthy, they should have a good edge rush. And the linebacker position, it's okay. I think it's a little overrated from the standpoint that Quincy Williams and Jamien Sherwood are good players, but they need to get their hands on more footballs in the passing game. Last year, they really didn't do much in terms of coverage. They can stop the run, but they've got to do better in coverage. That's something to keep an eye on, whether the Jets improve their ability to cover tight ends and running backs at the linebacker position.
Dan, everywhere that I read last year going into the season, like the Jets defense across the board, the front four, the linebackers, the secondary, like their unit rankings were absolutely elite, either first, second, or third, I think, among every single level there on the defensive side of the ball. So why was it so bad last year? Why did it not work out?
Yeah, I don't understand these rankings. Maybe you guys know more about them than I do, but entering last year, I think PFF said the Jets had the best D-line in football. I'm like, what are you talking about? In 2023, they could not stop the run. Yeah. How can you rank a D-line number one in the league that is bad against the run? That continued last year. One of the problems with their D-line was Robert Saleh liked to go with smaller, quicker players who could shoot gaps and get upfield. The problem with that is if you don't shoot the gaps guessing right, you can get engulfed by linemen that outweigh you by 70, 80 pounds. And that's what was going on. Quinnen Williams is a good player, but he's 280 pounds soaking wet. And they're running right up the middle. The guy next to him was too small. So they bulked up a little bit at the position next to Quinnen Williams. So that should be a better situation up front. But I never understood those rankings. I don't get them because 2 years ago the defense wasn't great, and last year the defense wasn't great.
You have thoughts on the expectations and the Patriots hype?
Yeah, I'm not buying the Patriots hype until I see what Drake May does.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of concerns about Drake May before the draft, and it wasn't one or two draft analysts. If you remember, whether it was Merrill Hodge or J.T. O'Sullivan, so many people, Randy Mueller, the list was really long of people saying this guy misses layups when they looked at the North Carolina tape. I'm not writing him off. I'm not saying he's going to be a bust, but let's see what he does in year 2 for the Patriots. And I thought they overpaid Milton Williams in free agency. How often does a rotational backup defensive tackle get top shelf money? We don't know what he's going to do as a frontline guy. Carlton Davis, I thought they overpaid at cornerback. I am a big believer in Vrabel. I think he'll turn things around, but I don't know how great the roster is right now. I think eventually Vrabel will turn it around. I'm not buying the hype right now as we sit here in August of 2025, but I think in time Vrabel will turn it around.
Well, I'll tell you this, Dan, a lot of bettors have been anti-Miami. I mean, for a long time here in the summer months, leading up to the season, betting their win total under. Do you fall in line with that?
Yeah, I think the coach is an offensive genius and he's a great guy, but that team doesn't have enough discipline or accountability. And you saw Calais Campbell, one of the great leaders in the league, saying, I got to get out of here. This isn't working out. Teron Armstead said some things when he retired about the lack of accountability and culture. So that's a problem. But the biggest thing now, putting that aside, who are they going to play at cornerback in a passing league?
Yeah.
I mean, they lose Jalen Ramsey. They just lost Kahu, how you pronounce his name. They are so thin at corner. Cam Smith has not worked out, the second-round pick from a couple years ago. They are in so much trouble at corner. And you guys know when you're sitting here in August, there are no corners on the street who are any good.
Right.
Because they're all gobbled up at this point.
Yeah. So basically, if Josh Allen stays healthy, plays the full season, the Bills absolutely run away with this division.
Oh, no question about it. And I think that the Bills will run away with the division. The one concern about the Bills some people have is the lack of a number one receiver. And I've been saying this for the last month now. The signing of Elijah Moore, who I covered with the Jets early on, is going to be one of the steals in free agency. Elijah Moore didn't have a quarterback with the Jets, and Elijah Moore didn't have a quarterback in Cleveland except for Joe Flacco for a few games. You put a guy like Elijah Moore, who was a big-time player at Ole Miss, you put him with a good quarterback, he's going to surprise the league. So I think the Bills will run away with this thing.
Totally agree. Dan, that was an awesome spot. Yeah. Thanks so much for popping on today. We appreciate that. Have a good weekend.
You too. Always great to be on with you guys.
Appreciate that.
Great job.
At Jets Whispers on X and Jets Confidential magazine. My God, he had strong opinions on everything.
Yeah, he did.
Run
away with it. There you go.
And on the Bills again, can we lay 2.5, 3.5 games?
Yeah.
What they're going to win the division by?
He was spot on with Fields. That was so good.
Yeah.
Totally agree. And he said, over under 2.5 games before Wilson has a sideline blow up.
No kidding. Up next here on Follow the Money, it's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We'll get to our in-pocket plays for the weekend, tell you what we're betting here next.
Was on coke if his girlfriend was not done.
These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your children's unborn children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
A lot of weird stuff happening this week in baseball. 3-0 Reds with Abbott on the mound. 3-1 in the 6th. A walk, a hit, an error. Explodes. Then 11-3. That was crazy. It's happened, I think, 3 times in history. Atlanta puts up an 8 spot. Cincinnati answers with an 8 spot. Still no one out, mind you. 8 runs, no outs. Guy on second, can't get him in, losing extra innings. Ridiculous. Couple different ways to play this one tonight. I like the Phillies, but I'm with Matty V. I mean, they should be able to touch up Flaherty, who's been bad on the road, never pitched in the Lions' den in Philadelphia. Flaherty over 2.5 earned runs, plus $1.15 at DraftKings, -2, -$2. Excuse me, 2 runs, -$2. Now you can play that as well. Phillies' run line is juicy. I think they get to Flaherty. And I think the Mariners win too, but the price is high, as they've owned, total ownage against Texas, going back the last 5 years. And we are back. Great job by the meat man, Steve Wiss. Lower League Soccer, League One, League Two. Tomorrow, Championship League starts next week. Remember that run we had with Peterborough United and all the overs? See if it continues. League One, early in the morning, Cardiff City, Peterborough United over 2.5 goals. We're back.
All right, very cool. Best of luck tonight, this weekend. Playing a couple of bets today in Major League Baseball. Brewers on the run line. The Churio injury is not great, but in a small sample size, they have really good numbers against Parker, and he's not good anyway. Quintana's been absolutely fine this year. Run line plus 107 game is starting anytime now, and I'm going to go Michael Wacha under 3.5 Ks plus 115. These are all very small bets. Been a bad baseball season I've talked about here now for a couple of months, but chins up, positive attitude here, trying to manifest some good stuff. And Blue Jays, opposing pitchers, when they pitch in Toronto, 23-2-1 under last 26 games. I'll take the plus money here and walk under 3.5.
Strong. What would you do with Boz over 2.5 earned runs, $1.30? I don't know if you can trust the Dodgers offense right now.
I'd stay away.
Yeah?
I mean, there are, a lot of games tonight have some like juicy bets or tantalizing markets to look at, but also I think you need to be a little careful here day after the deadline. Like the Guardians, every bone in my body is saying bet the Guardians tonight. But why is it $1.20?
That's a tough game. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Twins traded 11 guys.
Buxton got hurt.
Right. Ryan, you got to fade Ryan. I mean, Ryan could throw a gem. And then before the game, Clase and Ortiz, they clean out their lockers.
Crazy. That's the thing, right? So you'd think that the Guardians would have like the leg up with the bullpen, but Clase, but he wasn't going to pitch anyway. But then the Twins go and nobody's on the team anymore.
Right.
Gutted the entire thing.
Rain delay in Philadelphia. Great. Reds beat the Braves 3-2. They played an early game because they're playing in the Speedway tomorrow in Bristol. And the Cubs shut out the Orioles 1-0. Introducing the $500 trifecta from G-Bank, First Bet, and VSiN. All you need to do is open a G-Bank Visa Signature credit card in the first 90 days, deposit and play through $1,000 at First Bet to trigger the $500 trifecta. $200 in cashback rewards on your G-Bank Visa Signature credit card. First Bet will give you a $100 deposit match. VSiN completes it with a free 6-month pro subscription. The $500 try from G-Bank, First Bet, and VSiN. Head to VSiN.com/GBank. One-time promotion limited to customers opening a new account. In response to this offer will not apply to request to convert existing accounts. Apply today. Terms and conditions apply. This is excellent. Bill Barnwell again, ESPN. Tweet. Over the last 4 years, the Cowboys are the league's best defense with Parsons on the field, EPA per play. They're the second worst defense, same stretch, when he isn't on the field. What's there to talk about?
He's basically Nikola Jokic.
Oh, yeah, right.
On and off the court numbers.
Oh, man, this is wild.
I can't understand how it got to this point. Again, I want to say that. That's this side of me. Over here, it's Jerry Jones reminding me, hey, yeah, I'm a jackass. And I'm the single reason why so many fans have turned on me. But here's the thing. It's the Cowboys. They're always going to be enough people there go gaga over this team to fill up the stadium and buy everything related to the team and listen to sports talk radio there and whatever else is involved with it. It's just they're nut jobs in Texas. They love that team. So, but that's a guy that would be on that side of the ball. Paul, he's one of the biggest, like, he moves the needle as much as anybody defensively.
Yeah.
And if he goes to...
I can't believe that. That's all you need to know right there. But it goes back to, I couldn't shared the attention and the spotlight with Johnson. Only one time did he go with the big-name head coach.
Yeah, that's it.
And and the Clapper was around for 9 years. I mean, you can have anybody you want.
He should have been around for like 3 years.
Right. He's a big fan of Johnny Walker Blue. What do you think? Do you like it?
I can't remember the last time I had it.
Really? Okay.
You tried it recently?
Yeah, I have. Not bad.
Was it good?
Yeah. Had it neat. I enjoyed it. You sip it in style.
You know, I talked to one of my buddies who only drinks brown booze.
Yeah?
He loves scotch, loves whiskey. And I sent him one of these Instagram ads that came across recently. I guess they're selling like hot cakes. It's the stuff that you take before you drink and you feel great the next day.
Oh, yeah, they're all over.
And I asked him if he's ever taken it before. Because I have 3 beers now and I want to jump off a bridge the next day. My hangovers are unbelievable.
Oh,
I don't
yeah, good point. Yeah, there's so much stuff out there, right? Okay.
So he told me, and I can't say on the air what my response was. It was too vulgar. He said, I don't know. He said, I haven't had a hangover more than 10 years.
Oh.
He said the brown booze never gets to him. I just wanted to punch him in the face. So, you know, I mean, it sucks. I don't know where I was going with that, but Johnny Walker Blue. What's that cost a glass?
Well,
is that the expensive stuff?
I think it's $50, $60 a glass. I think it's $2.75 a bottle. It's the good stuff. $3.50 a bottle or something.
We should go out and get some Pappy Van Winkle sometime.
Like that, yeah.
Oh, it's the same buddy who told me that took me to a spot like a speakeasy downtown like 7-8 years ago. I'm not joking when I say I smelled it for like 90 minutes. It was the best smell I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
I want a candle like that or something that I can have at the house. It was so good. This is Jordan from Mama's Pizza talking about the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Real old school Cowboys. The fans are tired of Jerry. The other fans will love them because they're America's team and they love, win or lose. And I asked where he's at with the team. I'm out. I grew up going to every game. Now they're at a disgrace. And they paid a mediocre quarterback way too much money, no chance next 5 years. I agree with that.
Well said. He also had a good point. He wants to know, can you bet most penalized team?
Oh, my God. That's hardcore right there.
It is, but he says he loves it. Very good. And then even more so, imagine if this doesn't go their way and they trade him. Lou Finocchiaro recommended worst record in the league.
Well, he came on. I don't know. Lou may have been responsible for moving the win total number, but I think it was 8.5 when he came on.
Right.
Those are gone at reasonable numbers anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
if they ship him out, man, and this doesn't look good.
And Jerry will never sell.
No.
Means too much of him.
Yeah.
He loves the media, being in the media anyway.
What do you know about the kids? Like when he passes and you know, when his time's up or he's too old, whatever. What do we know about the kids?
It'll probably get worse.
I would think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man.
How would you bet on this working out? We can't. I mean, DraftKings is not in Nevada. If you had to bet on a team, would you lay the $3 that it's going to work out?
I think McLaurin will stay, but Parsons is going to be traded.
Oh, God, I hope that happens. Because I love big trades in the NFL. They don't happen very often.
I know.
And so before...
But this doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
This isn't... I don't understand this. I don't want to talk to the agent. I'm going to the player directly. And once again, just like Dak, he waits, and then it just goes bam, 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 right in a row. Garrett, Crosby, Watt. Now you really got to pay him.
Boy, the Dallas fans, this is on the heels of the basketball team trading Luka.
Yeah, right. But they got lucky, though, and worked out.
Well, yeah, the number 1 pick in the draft overall. But I'm telling you, if Parsons is traded like this weekend and he goes to a team that's a playoff team, they have people watch what's going to happen to the odds. He's not a quarterback, obviously, but in terms of what he can do if he goes to the right defense, a team's odds could get cut in half potentially if it's the right landing spot.
The NFLPA's got to jump in here too. This is outrageous. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent. No longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, great job by the entire crew behind the glass for this week and beyond, going way back. Stay tuned. Prime time next for 4 hours. Good luck with the bets this weekend.